another DC movie coming out this year, and I'm glad to say that this is so much fun. Even more fun than Fury of the Gods. Yeah, let's forget about that one. But this movie was like so fun. It's not trying to set up something, and it's a pure standalone movie, and it is one of the best DC has put out these past few years. So, without further ado, let's start from the top. Blue Beetle, directed by Angel Manuel Soto, does follow a lot of the same formulas that superhero origin movies do these days, but Angel Manuel Soto makes this even more charming and witty. This movie was also somewhat of a problem at DC, as it was reported that DC and Warner Brothers were developing a Blue Beetle film, which would be the first feature film based on a Latino superhero back at December of 2018. Now, the interesting part of this production is that on June 8th, 2021, the Los Angeles Times reported that the film is set to be a Max exclusive instead of a theatrical release, along with Batgirl, which was then still slated to release along with Blue Beetle, before it sadly got cancelled. Let's hope that someday a miracle would happen, just like the Snyder Cut, that this movie would get released somehow. Come on, who wouldn't love to see Brendan Fraser as freaking Yellow Jacket, right? But fortunately for us, on December 16, 2021, it was reported that the film will finally actually get a theatrical release instead, and will be released on August 18, 2023, and it never did get delayed and did stay on track and released on August 18, 2023. With Xolo Marijuana, popular for his role in Cobra Kai, getting hired for the role of Jaime Reyes himself, the Blue Beetle, and Bruna Marquezine entering the movie as the daughter of the original Blue Beetle and love interest to Jaime, Jenny Cord. Adding in that cast is Adriana Barraza as Nana Reyes, Damian Alcazar as Father Reyes, LPD Scarillo as Mother Reyes, Belisa Escobedo as Milagro Reyes, George Lopez returning to the superhero genre from the hit movie Sharkboy and Lava Girl.
You think you can just snap your eyes open and make me vanish?
Is finally returning as Rudy Reyes. Some other people involved are Raul Trujillo and Susan Sarandon. With some insight of the movie, let's get to my review on this hell of a movie. So after watching The Flash and actually really enjoying it, I went in here expecting just a fun adventure for this new character, especially because he is returning to James Gunn's new DCU. I'm very excited for his return though. The movie has some negatives that are half the same as The Flash. One of those negatives is the CGI that isn't as obvious as The Flash's, but it's still not their best CGI that DC ever put out. And the fact that this was supposed to be a TV movie, you can see some things just being like cheap and very like TV-ish. Another negative I would say is a bland villain, just like Shazam and Black Adam. The villain isn't like the best villain ever. I'm really glad there isn't too much negatives to avoid me from enjoying this movie, so let's start the positives. The first positive is the costume. This costume is jaw-dropping. It's easily the best comic book movie costume, I would say, in the past 5 years. This costume is sleek, yet still feeling armory. The metallic blue shines so much. It's just so beautiful. The metallic blue is brighter than my Monday morning optimism. Well, granted, that isn't too hard to beat. And those sleek patterns are like the ultimate fashion statement for these superheroes. And with the addition of the wings and the beetle arms, it makes it so much cooler along with all the weapons. Now I really need a figure of this. I need it. It's a necessity. This movie's family dynamic is just spectacular. Totally not a bother. And it adds a cherry on the top of this just amazing piece of cake. For a standalone movie like this, I wasn't expecting it to be this emotional. The family dynamic is amazing as well, and they all shown in their individual scenes. To remind you again, this is a spoiler review, so after the spoilers are coming, okay? It's coming in 3, 2, 1, okay, it's here. Okay, actually, when the dad exits stage left, aka dies, you could feel the emotions that the family was feeling, and I really didn't expect to be so emotional like that. Something else that's a big, large, spectacular positive is Bruna Marquezine. Man, she was just amazing. She's so beautiful. Along with that too, Xolo was the perfect choice for Blue Beetle. This guy wasn't just cast as Blue Beetle, he became the Blue Beetle. He gave an amazing performance as the Blue Beetle and as just Jaime Reyes. I'm also really surprised in how much Ted Kord was involved in this movie and was set up in a mid-credit scene. I think we need a sequel to this movie if we wanted to introduce Ted Kord in the DCU. Now, this next one is really a question. So, like, Batman, Superman, and Flash were mentioned in this movie, and because Gunn said that Blue Beetle is going to be in the DCU, are they talking about the DCU superheroes or is this still Snyder's superheroes? It's just a weird question, but it's just out there in my head. Along with that question is also a theory that James Gunn confirmed that Blue Beetle would be in the DCU. But my crazy theory is that the Blue Beetle isn't really going to be in the new DCU, but Gunn just said that so that people would go watch Blue Beetle. But again, there's a very, very long shot. So far, Blue Beetle has received good to amazing reviews and is, by August 20th, 2023, it is certified fresh with 76% and with a majestic 92% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. And so far, I've only seen a few full on negative reviews. I'm really excited for the future of Blue Beetle in DCU. Who knows, maybe it'll get greenlit for a sequel. So critically talking, it's successful, but how about financially? The opening day numbers had a bit of a meh moment with only $10 million domestically, but I'm sure, or at least hoping, that this at least makes more than the biggest flop in superhero history, aka The Flash. At least 300 million to at least maybe like 370 million worldwide on a $125 million budget. And there you have it, folks, the Blue Beetle extravaganza summed up in a cosmic-sized nutshell. From jaw-dropping suits to a family dynamic that could melt even the coldest villain's hearts. This flick is a roller coaster of emotions and superhero greatness. Bruno Marquezine and Xolo, they're like the stars of the DCU now. Well, they are the only stars right now. But well, sure, there might have been a few bumps in the road, like opening day, and the villains that's quite bland. But hey, isn't life just a wild mix of flavors? For every quirk and quibble, Blue Beetle still swoops in with the heart, humor, and beetle arms. So whether you're a superhero aficionado or just looking for a seriously good time at the movies, Blue Beetle is ready to take you on a joyride. I'll have you crying and laughing and just having a great time. Blue Beetle, you've woven yourself into our hearts, and we're ready for a sequel that is, who knows, impossible or maybe possible. I'm hoping for the second, but overall, I need Blue Beetle figure, and I'm gonna go binge watch Bruno Marquezine's movies.
I am the danger of dreaming.